As y'all know, we live on Magic 107.5, 97.5, Real Sound of Atlanta. Of course, we broadcasting from Media Campus West. Reec Show Live got another special guest. She is the queen of business, restaurants, getting to the bag, dressing fancy, smelling like unicorn sweat, and everything in between. Your boy Reec has somebody of pure prestige in the building. Miss Monique, what's good with you, mama?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I gotta steal that intro.
Go ahead, have it. You can have it. We do the biggest intros ever here, but if I start running down every single thing that you have owned, flipped, sold, created, and then made popular and successful, and successful. Yeah. We'll be here for 45 minutes. We don't have that type of time because you got businesses to run.
That's right. We're going to do the short version today.
Right. But if you're not familiar with her work, you've probably been in one of her establishments, from anywhere from chopped cheese spot to the content creation spot that you have, the milk and cookie spot that you have, to any type of place that you have. We've probably either passed it, been in it, heard about it, or saw it on social media.
That's right. Hopefully.
Yeah. That means
if you didn't know, now you're going to know.
Now you go know. Let me hit the high bell. Let's get the elephant out the room first. There was some controversy that hit Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Somebody came down here, set Atlanta on fire, visiting all the restaurants.
Man, listen.
And he came to your restaurant and had the time of his life.
He did. Thank God.
Thank God. He came and had the time of his life.
Man, thank God he did. Because if it was the other end of the spectrum, I would be very sad right now. But no, he came and we got a good review. So I was happy.
That's what's up. And then people got it confused because he came to another restaurant, didn't have the time of his life. And they tried to put that on you. And he was like, nah, I've been sold that spot.
Yeah. People like to they like drama. They like, they like that part of the story. But luckily, that wasn't my restaurant. I wish them the best, of course. But I had sold that years ago. But you know how people like drama. They want to say, oh, she had a bad review. So then she sent them to the other restaurant and she got a good review. That's not what happened.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Right. So let's talk about just your journey first. You're from Wisconsin. You in the A. You have businesses from here to Houston and everywhere in between. Mm-hmm. How did this kind of start for you? Like, because there's somebody out there listening right now that has hopes and dreams of becoming the next guru like you are, but they don't even know where to get in the door or start. Yeah,
well, I did a lot of work. And I think people don't like to hear that. I do a lot of consulting and people think that it can just happen overnight. It's work. Yes. I've had a job since I was 13 years old. I've worked for other people. I learned on their dime and saw them make mistakes and learned from that. So that's, I know people don't like to hear that. They like to think that they can just wake up and do it. But no, you got to put some work in it. And you have to, if you can, go work for somebody else and learn, in the field that you're interested in. Even if it's not the field, just learn business, good business. Like I have my children. They used to work in the restaurants. And I told them, I don't want to be in a restaurant business. I don't want you to learn a restaurant business. I want you to learn business.
The business
of business. You know what I mean? So, that's what I would say. If they want to get started, just work. Just do the work. I know we don't like to hear that, but that never fails. There's other things that work. There's, get rich quick schemes and all that. You can win the lottery or whatever.
Right.
Those things happen. But if you want to, for sure, do the work.
Do the work. That is. Do you kind of look at that like that was your college?
It was because, I barely graduated high school. I was a teenage mother, like you said, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, went to college, but realized, I got to go to work, left college, didn't get a degree. And, experience has been my college. Not that I not college. I have a daughter in college at Clark. Shout out Clark. Right now. But, yeah, exactly. But so there's nothing wrong with that. That just wasn't my path or my journey. And I have learned, I think, much more than I would have learned just going to business school.
Right. And I know everybody's curve is different. You know what I mean? And sometimes experience is what we need to get things done we trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I needed to bump my head to learn.
I got you.
I had to learn the hard way. So hopefully now I can help people not learn the hard way.
I got you. Was that always a goal to be an owner in ownership as you were starting? Because like you said, you started out pretty early. Sometimes we don't know our path. We just know we need to make some money.
Yeah, I think it was. I didn't think that. Again, in Milwaukee, it wasn't, I didn't see much of that. Nobody in my family was a business owner besides perhaps my grandfather who owned a church. Yeah. But other than that, there were no entrepreneurs around me. So I didn't know what that looked like. I just knew I went to work for people and saw how much money I helped make them and how much money I made. And I was like, dang, can I do this for myself? And when the first opportunity presented itself, I was 21 to own my first bar. I kind of just jumped in it and did it. You know what I mean? And that from there, I was like, oh, I can do this.
And was that in Milwaukee?
That was in Milwaukee.
That's what's up. Now I know 2 dope people from Milwaukee that own a bunch of stuff. You and G out there with that barbershop. He was like, that's my club too. That's what I was like, bro, you own everything.
Yeah, everything. I think he low-key own the Bucks. He just don't want to say
right.
it.
That's what I think too. I think he a GM or something.
Exactly.
So that's what's up. Good people know good people. We kind of just trying to chop it up with you, getting the backstory a little bit. When you jump into that bar situation, did you catch the bug then? Like, I want everything.
I did. I caught it, but I got burned that first time. Like, I had a really bad experience, but it was a lesson learned. I learned that you have to have everything in writing. Paperwork is so important. I just took this lady at her word. Her bar was failing. I'm like, let me try. It's not going to cost you nothing. I'll pay you, use your licenses and stuff. I tried. It worked well. And when she saw it had worked, she took it back
Came back
and snatched it back from me. And I said, dang, but that was a hard lesson learned, but I'm glad I learned it so early on. You know what I mean? So yeah, I caught it right away. I kept working though.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I kept working because you got to have that for sure check coming through the door. But I knew then, like, I can do this.
I got you. Yeah. So that's kind of one of them lessons we need to make sure we write down. Listen, you take that burn as a lesson learned.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. No failures. I know that's cliche. They say failures on that, but that's really true.
And get it in writing too.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not written down, it didn't happen.
Okay. That's what's up. If it's not written down, it didn't happen.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah.
So you kind of fast forward. What's your next endeavor after that?
After the bar, so I was there in Milwaukee until I was 30 years old. I didn't move here until 2010. So I was a correctional officer. I did so many things. I was a correctional officer. I got my Series 7 license. I placed trades for a while, realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. I opened a group home, which was really my sole passion.
Yeah.
So I opened a group foster home for girls that were aging out of the foster care system. Yes. I loved that. That's actually what I was doing before I moved to Atlanta. I happened to have survived a domestic violence marriage and got out of here and moved to Atlanta with my children and started all the way over.
Wow.
Had to start bartending again, close my group homes, close my businesses, started bartending like at 30.
Right.
Like, dang.
Like there's a hard reset.
A hard reset. Heavy on the hard reset. I bartended and within 2 months I was operations manager of that bar. They were like, you not a bartender. Right. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, you supposed to be owning something.
Exactly. Like, what's going on here? Did that, did some consulting, some business like bar, restaurant consulting. Ended up being the GM of a really big celebrity-owned restaurant, T.I.'s Restaurant Scales.
Yeah.
And did that. And then from there, just went on. I did some consulting, ended up in Maryland doing some consulting, opened Milk and Honey, which everybody knows Milk and Honey. Opened Milk and Honey with a previous partner of mine. Sold that in 2020. The first year we opened Milk and Honey, I did over $2 million in a little 40-seat restaurant.
She like, just first year, $2 million. Hit the hype bell for that.
But it's like, but that's a good lesson also in not knowing what you don't know. I set that restaurant up as a sole proprietorship. It was under my social security number. Yeah. $2 million of revenue. Yeah. I had no clue.
That's a lot of taxes.
Yeah, a lot. It took me 4 years to pay those taxes. So, wow. You know what I mean? Like, so those type of things. And to date, to the point that I sold it, I did over $30 million of revenue with that restaurant. So that was the growth. That was the progression. And once I sold that in a 7-figure deal, I said, okay, this is what I want to do. Now, that's when I caught the bug for let me start stuff and sell it.
So that's what I want to get into too. We have these dreams and we hold on to them like they are babies. How were you able to get into the mind frame that I'm not going to be attached to it too much to where I can't move? Yeah,
everything's for sale. Like, listen, I think what really helped me with Milk and Honey was, and I've told this story a million times, it wasn't my idea. It was my previous partner's idea. So it was birthed from that person's brain. And I took it and said, this is what we can do with it. You know what I mean? So I think that really, I'm really good at taking things to fruition that were just an idea. Yeah. See, a lot of people have ideas, or can you execute?
You follow through and execute?
Can you follow through? The follow through is where we fail. So I think that's why I'm able to not be married to anything. You know what I mean? Like, there's things, I have new concepts now that I'm opening and doing, but I mean, if the right number comes along and I'm able to, this is life-changing money. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I was broke. Like, I was making $500 a week when I opened the first Milk and Honey, literally. Yeah. Like, I don't know, I was behind on rent. My car had been repossessed. Like, so I come from a place where, 6 figures seemed like what to me. And now I've been in several 7-figure deals, multi-million-dollar deals. So it puts things in a different perspective when you're working with that type of money.
It absolutely does. I want you to, if you can, elaborate a little bit on how you were able to grow in success of Milk and Honey and get it to a point that where now it's on the block to be auctioned off.
I think that a lot of people set money as a goal, and I tell even my consulting clients all the time, that's not a goal. It's the byproduct of obtaining a goal. Okay. So if you set a goal, don't set money as the goal, because hopefully if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, the money will come. Right. So when I started Milk and Honey, I was like, look, what can we do better than anybody? Right. And it happened to be shrimp and grits. Okay. The chef partner I had at the time, that was like his dish. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody could do it better.
Y'all got me a few times. I was part of that initial 2 million. Yes. I don't know how much of it, but it was me.
I appreciate you. Really, seriously. So I honed in on that, and we had a top 10 menu, and I learned very early on, this is just a life lesson. Like, don't try to be all things to all people. Okay. I was really okay with, the vegans coming at me. I'm okay. You don't have nothing vegan? No,
I don't.
Yeah.
That's not for you. And that's okay.
I don't go to the vegan restaurant and say, give me a steak. Right. That doesn't happen. So you're not going to come here and make me,
I got
you. I think that's the key, like honing in on it and doing something great. And then once I mastered that, then you kind of, move on to other things. But that's what I focused on. Like I focused on 100% of my pie. Like I wanted my consumer. That was it. Yeah. I just was like, if it, they know that the saying, like you carve out everything that doesn't look like an elephant, you get rid of it. And I knew what my elephent was.
I got you. Shrimp and grits. Yeah. Delicious shrimp and grits.
Exactly. And just focus on that, and then and I wasn't looking for anything. I didn't know anything about selling a brand. They approached us at first, and then I was like, that number didn't sound right.
If y'all coming with this, I know it's worth something more.
Exactly. Right. And this was early on. This was probably like 10 months after we had opened or something in the first year. And I said, nah, we're going to scale this, know? And at the time, my partner didn't want to do that. That's another good lesson. Like if you're going to partner, you got to make sure you have the same goals and the same, path at least somewhere.
You can have, in my experience, and you can correct me if I'm incorrect, you can have different talents, but you need to be chasing that same line.
Yeah, it actually helps if you have different talents. It makes no sense for you both to be strong in the, in the exact same area. So that wasn't the issue. It's just that you couldn't see my vision. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think my vision was too big for other people. Like they couldn't even see this, foresee this happening, to be okay. And I never was just okay. Yeah. Like this little 40 rent, that was cool. And, 2 million was amazing. Right. But it's like, dang, but we did 2 million.
At
out
40
of this little hole in the wall with no parking at the worst intersection, leaking, heat didn't work. I mean, it was bad.
I know. I remember when the shrimp and grits was good.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, we can do this here. What could we do someplace else? And then as I moved on to my other concept, I just took that. I'm like, you did this with Milk and Honey. Yes. You know what I mean? Nobody can take that from me. I did that with Milk and Honey. Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I can do this again. You just duplicate it. So now I pick something else. I zero in on it. I'm opening La Cage in Maryland. It's a Latin Cajun seafood restaurant. And I'm going to do the best, just like I did with Bodega here, the best chopped cheese.
How do you come up with these names? I'm trying to figure this out. Milk and Honey, La Cage, the Bodega. You know what I mean?
So look, Milk and Honey again wasn't my idea.
Right.
That was his, but it did come from the Bible. Over 30 sometimes God promises a land of milk and honey. So I loved that name. Right. And then the Bodega. Actually, my son came up with that. This is always other people. My son came up with that. I'm trying to take care. Oh, no, La Cage is me, though. Okay. I was trying to come up with a name that nobody else had. And I was like picking all this stuff. And it was like, I would look it up and somebody else had it. And then a mentor of mine was like, come up with your own thing. You don't have to come up with your. So I was like, Latin Cajun. Okay, La Cage. La Cage. And then it sounded fancy. I was like, oh, I want to go to La Cage.
That's the beauty of black magic right there. We're going to throw some names together.
Right. And that's exactly what I did. So it's nothing, I wish it was some good backstory to it, but La Cage.
There you go. No, that is a backstory because you're giving people game. How do you come up with something unique to your situation as well as not biting anybody else, even if it's in a similar space? Exactly. I'm going to come up with my own name. That's why we have Reec Radio.
Right. Yeah, you doing that. And I got to tell y'all, I ain't been to this dang on studio. My Lord.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Coming from somebody that knows what she's doing, we appreciate it. Now that's dope. So we're getting now into your second leg, because like now you're developing things that could be, they run up a value, then you could generate and sell it. Yeah. But you're also dibbling and dabbling in other things. You got beauty bars, you got libation spots. Yes. How did you get into those spaces? I
mean, to be honest with you, it all stemmed from what I was already doing.
Okay.
Like, so for Mink and Honey Beauty, who brunches? Primarily women.
Women, yes.
For the most part, 80% of our guests are women coming out. You might catch some dudes or a date or something, but it's women.
We only come, let me look in this camera. Let's be serious.
Why do y'all come?
We're only coming because y'all are there.
Okay, then.
Y'all on them bottomless mimosas, we pulling up in a fedora. Come on now, we know what's going on.
So you know what it is. So the women are there. So I'm like, dang, what else can I do for these women that are already supporting me, already following my story, already supporting the brand? Okay. I am a woman. I don't wear a lot of makeup. I see a lot of makeup going around. I'm like, but what about what's going on underneath the makeup?
Yeah.
So let's take care of our skin. So I took 2 years, develop a skincare line.
Wow.
And did that. And of course was supported by the people that were already supporting me.
Right.
So that's what, the health and wellness. I've been on a 13-year now journey, health, weight loss, up and down, my weight fluctuating. I know a lot of people do the same thing.
Yeah, so many people.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, what else can I do? What else can I contribute? Businesses solve problems. So I was trying to solve our brands, tell a story. I want to do both. I want to tell you a story, but I want to solve your problem at the same time.
That makes so much sense.
That's just what I was coming up with. Like, what things can I do to solve somebody's problem, but also, take them along this journey with me. So I stay very close. It seems like a lot, but I stay very close to what I've been doing.
Yeah.
The liquor store, you know what I mean? Like health and wellness. I've been on this journey. The beauty brand, been in the exotic snack shop, content creation. I don't like to say it, but I guess at this point I am a content creator.
No, you are. You're going to have to start liking to say it.
I know. Because I don't like to think of it like that. That just sounds so, I don't know what. But
we saw you walking out the restaurant talk about, this is not my spot.
Listen.
No more. This is the bodega. That's me.
Listen.
That's them. I wish y'all the best, but that ain't me. Keith Lee, come back.
That's so funny because that's important that you have the right team around you. Because
True.
who told me to do that? My son and my social media manager, shout out Des Designs. They both said, like, they gave me the script. They said, no, you're going to do this.
Yeah.
And it worked.
But it was you. It was genuine to who you are. So that's why, like you said, it's good to have the right people around you. They don't have you out here doing nothing.
That was crazy. I ain't finna cuss nobody out, do no crazy on TikToks and that, because the way that they were doing me, I said, oh my God.
Goodness. Y'all are big
what
mad.
What did I do to y'all? So harsh.
Oh man. But that's kind of cool to see, like, the ups and downs of your journey as you look back at it. Is there anything that you look at and be like, man, I'm glad I went through that? Because a lot of times successful people don't look at anything they would have done differently. They just maybe I could have got that lesson sooner.
Yeah, that's. But there are many things. I hate to say I regret things, but I'm a realist. There are things I wish hadn't happened in my personal life and my especially in my business journey. Which is why I try to do a lot of this. Yes, because I didn't have this. You know what I mean? Like when I made my first million, I didn't know a millionaire.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody that had touched. So I was like,
what I'm supposed to do now? So that's a great thing to say, because now you're becoming the big mama to people coming up. Yeah, I mean, at a young age, but I'm saying, like, you like the young, people. You're right. Like you said, we didn't have that. You made millions, right? And like you said, I had it in my name, my social, and I got to pay taxes on it. And it took years to recover from that, from the IRS, whatever that situation was. You might not have had to go through it if you had a millionaire to go, hey, how can I do this? Right. You know what I mean? How to shelter this the right way.
Yes. Or get a CPA, do some bookkeeping. Like I wasn't doing it. Like I'm telling you, I just was winging it.
It was new.
It was so new and and it happened so quickly that I couldn't have anticipated that level. I was trying to make $5,000 a week. Yeah. I would have been happy with that. That sounded great. Yeah, I was like, dang, I could, pay a couple people, pay the bills, maybe take home a little money, so that was the plan. So when God laughs at your plans, he had a totally different plan for me. Did he though? And I was like, wow. So it's like, and it's so hard to stop a moving train. Yeah. It was like, it was already going. So I was like, dang, what do I do? So yeah, I would want to, I hope that's why I do this. Cause there's so many things I would change, but because I did all those things now, hopefully I've helped countless amount of people at this point, prevent them from doing the same mistakes.
It's time for some TED Talks.
Yeah.
It's that time, Monique. You got to stop playing with these folks. They need to hear the story. Because like you're saying, you could be almost like a mentor to people without having to have the one-on-one situation. You can give enough information for people to not bump their head a certain way.
And real information. I think that's another reason why I talk so much, because with the social media, people are paying people.
Yeah.
You're paying somebody to tell you how to do something they never did.
Right. I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm going to social media. You're telling me you're going to help me get my followers up. And then I go to your page. You got 300 people. Man, you haven't done it for you.
Haven't done. Exactly.
I don't trust that.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't.
I'm not learning banking from a tire person.
Man,
I'm going to figure out my best tires from them, though.
Right.
So when we look at you, we see that.
We do a lot of that. Yeah. I see it all the time. These business master classes. But what business do you own?
Yeah. What brand do you have?
Yeah. What brand do you have? This is how you make your money. Telling other people supposedly how to. So, that's another reason. Like, I don't like to hear myself talk. This is going to weird me out to listen to this. Like seriously, I don't, but I had to come out of my comfort zone and really because there's so many people that could avoid wasting so much money, losing so much money, time, energy, effort, making the wrong decisions. Like you said, you can't play with the IRS.
Yeah.
Like they coming to get you.
They want theirs.
They're going to come get you, lock you up, do whatever they need to do.
Right. And they want their money too.
Yeah, they want their money on top of that after you spend some time in jail. So those type of things are what I would like, to prevent, even people that are in business. I talk to people that have had businesses for a while and don't even know, what they don't know.
Right.
So
I'm learning a lot right now. So I appreciate it.
Well,
what I mean?
You.
Absolutely. Tell me about some of the spaces, some of the different spaces you're in. And then I'm going to ask you another question off of that. So I think, and tell me what I'm missing. We got restaurants.
Yes.
We got the edible spots and the libation spots. You got the liquor store. You got the beauty bars.
Yes.
You have
health and wellness.
Business consulting.
Some real estate commercial real estate.
Right. What do you see? Is it dependent on the deal, or do you recommend owning the places where you put your retail in, or does it just depend on the deal?
Well, that has changed. See, I had all these leases, these commercial leases. And then when I sold Milk and Honey the first time around, I said, dang, if I would have owned every single one of these, like McDonald's does, then I would be their landlord and I still be making money. So
lump sum and residual.
Yes.
Okay.
So that shifted my thinking. Now, starting out, I mean, if you're in a position to do that, go buy you some. But I wouldn't recommend that, only because you got to do proof of concept. Make sure that your stuff is working first before you do such an investment as purchasing a building. But once you're in a place and you know what you're doing, I think that's my plan from now on. Some places you got to lease if you're in a plaza or whatever, and it just makes sense for your brand. But my goal is to have ownership of every place that that I'm physically located, if possible. But even sometimes commercial leases, they can be to your advantage, because once you are in a certain position, I'm considered like a prime tenant now.
Yes.
So they want me to come there.
Yeah, because it's going to bring success. Yeah.
Exactly.
Long-term success.
Right. So you have negotiating power. And a lot of, new business owners don't understand that. I didn't know how to negotiate my first lease. I wish I would have. Yeah. Because I wouldn't have been in the position I was. But as I started signing more leases, I said, oh no, I can ask for tenant improvement money. I can get some free rent. I can get rent abatement. I can get all of these things. But if you don't know this,
then you don't know
if you haven't done it before. So I take advantage of leveraging, my experience and my success with, with landlords. But my plan is to own as much as I can.
I got you. When we look into your portfolio, what is one of the funner businesses for you?
Dang. Restaurant, it's a tie between restaurants and the collab.
Okay.
I co-own a collab with my son. It's a content creation space, but mainly recording studio. Okay. And that's fun for me because I enjoy seeing people create.
I love it.
And seeing, and watching my son even do, what he does with music. So that's fun for me. But the restaurants are always fun because you meet people, you talk to people, and I think food brings people together like music. That's probably why I like those two things, because they're so similar to me. But I think it brings people together like music. And I just love to meet new people. And I'm blessed enough to have locations in different states. So I'm not always stuck in one place, and I get to talk to people and just learn from them how they even found out about my spot, or, you know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. So that's the most fun to me, I think, is the restaurant.
It's crazy that I could just be sitting here next to our Bill Gates, and you're just so open and just telling us everything.
definitely
I ain't mad at that.
But from your mouth to God's ears, I pray.
There we go. We get to that land of milk and honey. That's what we doing.
Yeah, that's where we going. That's the plan.
All right. So our listeners always are accustomed to getting our Sunday dinner picks around this time. So we know that Keith Lee came by, took his family to the bodega, and he enjoyed it. He loved it.
He did.
He had a time. I saw the video. He had a time. So what is Monique's picks, the owner's picks? When people go to the bodega here in the city, like, what are your picks when you go there?
Ooh. Well, if it's your first time, you got to get the chopped cheese.
Okay.
You have to. Like,
it's known for the chopped cheese. You got to get the chopped cheese.
Come to the bodega and not get the chopped cheese. But my personal favorite is the chopped hero.
Okay.
To me, hands down, that's our best
sandwich. That's the pick.
Yeah, but people are obviously sales disprove my vote because like 70% of our sales is the chopped cheese.
Right.
So the people don't agree with me. But if you want to, go against the grain, get the chopped hero. It is hands down the best thing. Our corn is amazing. The jalapeno Mexican street corn is really, really good. And I love our spike shakes. Like I don't think many people are doing that.
Yeah, our shakes is incredible. I see even the way they're put together, they look good.
Yeah.
It really
taste good.
Yeah, it tastes good. And that encompasses
and you can throw
the
some
city.
Tequila in there if you want to. So that's the best part.
We can't do that Sunday, but Monday come back.
Oh, okay, yeah, not Sunday. Yeah, not on Sunday. Sunday we're gonna drink, just straight get you some juice on Sunday.
I got you. Now the nachos. Tell me about the nachos.
The nachos. So I think he had the chopped cheese nachos, which again, people love the chopped cheese. It's our chopped cheese on the nachos.
On the nachos.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what it is. And it's good. It's just like he said. I love the way he described it because that's exactly what we wanted to do. That's what we set out to do. Yeah. I called it a happy food place.
Yeah.
It's not that, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Let's just go have you some good, fattening food.
I feel like I'm going to smile while I'm taking everybody. I haven't been. I'm going. I wanted to talk to you and I'm going. I want to talk to the source. Okay, then I'm going. You know what I mean? I'm definitely going.
Yeah, please. I think you'll enjoy it. It's like he said, you don't go there expecting some 5-course meal. It's just good food.
That's
good,
what's
happy
up.
Food. Go have you a good time, have you a good shake, and call it a day.
That's what's up. So her pick is the hero.
That's right.
But you got to get the chopped cheese if you go.
Got to.
And you might as well, you got the kids, get the nachos.
That's right. The people's pick is the chopped cheese. I'm going with the hero.
The bodega. Make sure y'all check it out. Give them the address real quick.
It is 3731 Main Street in College Park, right downtown. 5 minutes from the airport. Even if you're visiting, got a layover, come see us.
Let me tell you how impressive that is. This lady has 431 businesses in about 55 states. I know it's 55 states, and she knows every address. Make sure y'all check it out.
The phone number, the Instagram, social media. Listen, what do you need to know? I got you.
That's what's up. You always give gems too on your social media and stuff. For those that aren't following you, we just appreciate you. You're a gem to us. You know what I mean?
Follow me
you helping
at
people.
Monique Rose across all platforms, everywhere.
There you go.
I make it easy for you. Please follow me and talk to me.
You got a movie star name. Monique Rose.
Monique Rose?
Yeah, it definitely sounds like something in the books.
Oh, okay then. All right, well, maybe. No, I can't take on any other jobs right now.
That's what's up. Now, we appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And just keep, keeping your success going.
Thank you. You keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a great thing here.
Nah, I appreciate that. Amazing. From a lady herself with a content creation space. We appreciate you. Let me hit that hype bell, man. It's Reec Magic 107.5, 97.5. Thanks so much for listening. We're going to get back to this music on the radio side. We gone.
It's time to see who's with Reec.
Hey, thank you. Who you with? Wendy Williams is in here.